in the middle of a dying sea, there was an island that officially did not exist. No maps, no tourists, no witnesses. But for decades, the Soviet Union used this isolated strip of land to test some of the most dangerous biological weapons on Earth. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, they didn't clean it up. They just left. This is the story of Vozrozhdeniya Island, the Soviet bioweapons island so contaminated it poisoned the soil itself. The perfect test site. Vozrozhdeniya Island sat in the middle of the Aral Sea, between modern-day Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. In the 1940s, Soviet military planners saw opportunity. Remote, surrounded by water, easy to seal off. If something went wrong, the sea would act as a natural barrier. Or so they believed. The Soviets built a secret military town called Aralsk 7. It had laboratories, housing blocks, airstrips, even schools. Scientists and soldiers lived there year-round. Officially, it didn't exist. Unofficially, it became one of the Soviet Union's most important biological weapons testing grounds. What they tested. Here, researchers weaponized pathogens designed for mass infection. Anthrax, plague, tularemia, and reportedly even smallpox. Animals were placed in open-air test grids. Aerosolized pathogens were released into the wind to measure spread, lethality, and environmental persistence. Anthrax was particularly prized. Why? Because anthrax spores can survive in soil for decades. They resist heat. They resist cold. They resist time. When weaponized into a fine powder, inhalation anthrax becomes extraordinarily lethal. Testing wasn't theoretical, it was operational. They were refining battlefield-ready biological weapons. And then something happened the planners never predicted. The sea began to disappear. The Aral Sea collapsed. In the 1960s, Soviet irrigation megaprojects diverted the rivers feeding the Aral Sea. Cotton production soared. The sea shrank. Year after year, the shoreline receded until the island wasn't an island anymore. By the late 1980s, Vozrozhdeniya was slowly connecting to the mainland. The natural barrier was gone. Containment had failed. Abandonment. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. Funding stopped. Command structures disintegrated. Personnel evacuated. Laboratories were abandoned. But the most disturbing discovery came later. Investigation revealed that tons of anthrax material had been buried on the island in massive pits. Not destroyed, buried in soil already used for open-air testing. A former top-secret bioweapons facility now sat exposed, accessible by land. A global threat. In the late 1990s, international officials grew alarmed. What if someone dug it up? What if extremist groups accessed weaponized pathogens? In the early 2000s, a joint US-Uzbek operation reportedly worked to locate and neutralize buried anthrax stockpiles. But decontaminating decades of biological testing is not simple. Anthrax spores can survive for generations in contaminated soil. The land remembers. Vozrozhdeniya Island is now mostly desert, a scar left behind by environmental collapse and biological warfare ambition. It stands as a reminder of something chilling. Biological weapons don't vanish when governments fall. They linger in archives, in secrecy, and sometimes in the dirt itself. The question isn't just what was built there. It's what might still remain.